Hello and welcome to the MoneyMagpie Money Matters podcast. I'm Jasmine Birtles and I'm the founder of MoneyMagpie. It's January, which is a tough month financially. It's a long month. You've got a lot of month for your money. Not only that, we've just got through Christmas. We've probably overspent to the tune of millions across the country. The weather's harsh, so we've got the heating on, which is expensive. And frankly, you just feel like curling up and hibernating until things get better, like, in April. So I've got a couple of people here who can help us pick ourselves up and get some financial light into our lives. We've got Charlotte Durrant, who is the Employees Experience Manager within the People team at the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, otherwise known as FSCS, and also Jess Spires, who's Senior Content Manager at FSCS. Now, as you probably know, FSCS can pay compensation if the authorised financial firm you've used goes bust and can't pay your claim itself. FSCS guarantees your cash in the bank up to £85,000. Some people think it's the banks that do it. No, it's actually FSCS that covers your money up to £85,000 currently. And they can also pay compensation for a variety of products such as insurance, pensions, investments, and more. So people at FSCS know a thing or two about keeping your money safe. And I'm going to ask you both for your tips. So starting with you, Charlotte, what can we all do to make sure that January is a happier month financially, even if we can't do anything about the weather?
I think one of the best places to start is online. So there's a range of free resources online that people can use to help with any concerns they've got around their money or any questions they've got. There's lots of options available. So we've got the Citizens Advice. So they offer specific support around concerns around the cost of living, if you're managing debt, if you need support with budgeting, banking, pensions, and much more. So I definitely encourage people to look at that. There's also Money Helper, which is a free and impartial service that brings together the support and services of 3 of the government-backed financial guidance providers. So that's the Money Advice Service, the Pensions Advisory Service, and PensionWise. And then we've got the Which Money Helpline, which can provide independent one-to-one guidance on all sorts of money matters over the phone. So that could range from tax questions, travel insurance, but it is worth noting that they're not able to give regulated financial advice or specific advice around claims management. But I would encourage people to reach out if they are struggling, have the conversation either with a loved one or seek that professional support which is available.
So really, there is a lot of help out there on the net, on the phone. And I mean, one thing that I often say is talk to friends, talk to family. If you're really having a problem, particularly if you're in debt, I've had this with friends where we've just got together and got all the statements out and put them in a row. And once you see what you've got, once you face the tiger, quite often things can be easier, can't they?
Yes, definitely. I think that's the first step in just having that conversation if you are struggling.
Yes. Jess, FSCS is a handy service that provides protection in reassuring people in a crisis, like compensation when a financial business goes bust or gives you the wrong advice. Many people probably know you protect bank accounts, as I mentioned earlier, because your logo pops up or is posted around the banking branches. But what else do you cover? And how do you know that you're covered and therefore that your money's safe?
Yeah, some very good questions there, Jasmine. So yeah, you're right. We're best known for our deposit protection, and around 40% of people know that we protect money in your bank, building society or credit union. But only around 20% of people know that we protect pensions as well. And actually, that's kind of just the start of it, because we do protect not all financial products, but quite a lot of them. So we protect mortgages, insurance, investments, debt management plans, payment protection insurance, and funeral plans. And I'd say probably the best thing for anyone listening or watching to do would be to go to our website and have a look on there, because that will tell you exactly what we protect and the compensation limits for each. So I think it's probably also worth mentioning that it's completely free to claim with FSCS if you come to us direct. We always want people to know that. And in terms of knowing if you are covered, we always recommend that you ask your provider or advisor before you take out a financial product or before you switch to a new product as well. And that's just going to give you the peace of mind that you are protected by FSCS if the worst does happen and the firm does go bust, which hopefully it won't, but we know it does sometimes. And another way people can check, we've got some checkers on our website that people can use. So that's www.fscs.org.uk. And you can go on there, and there are protection checkers to see if the money in your bank, building society or credit union is protected. We also have checkers for pensions and investments too.
Yeah, because it is really helpful to know that you could actually get free compensation if, say, your insurance company went bust or your funeral provider went bust. You don't have to get the lawyers out, because that can cost a lot to get lawyers out, even on a sort of no win, no fee basis, to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Money, of course, is such a worrying and frightening subject for most people. And, is there a way, Charlotte, do you think, is there a way that money can be made less of a monster, less of something that's just really, really frightening?
Yes, I think financial services, the industry as a whole, can often be very confusing, and it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of information out there. So if you do find it difficult to have those conversations, you're not alone. I think one of the best places to start, as we talked about earlier, is with someone close to you, a family friend or a relative. And we find that people who do talk openly about money can have stronger personal relationships. It can also help, if you've got children, for them to form better money habits later in life. You might feel overall less stressed or anxious. You're more in control of your financial situation. And also it can help being more informed to make less risky financial decisions. You might think twice about signing up for a more risky investment or falling victim to a scam.
True. Jess, can you add anything to that?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with everything Charlotte said. I mean, probably especially around pocket money. I've got 2 kids, and I'm always trying to have that conversation with them about, spending versus saving. Like, do you really need to buy another cuddly toy, or would it be better to put that money in your piggy bank and save it for something bigger? So definitely important to start from an early age. And I think it's probably also worth saying that when we're supporting customers when they come to make a claim with us, friends and family are really important there as well. So if someone does think they've got a claim with us, but they struggle with computers or admin or filling in forms, or they might just feel like completely overwhelmed, because it can be a really stressful time. We always recommend talking to a friend or family member to see if they can support that person with making a claim. And if it's the right thing to do, that person can actually nominate a friend or family member to claim on their behalf. So that's what we would call a personal representative. And it can just be a really good way to take the stress out of claiming if you've just got that support from someone that you trust.
Of course, I would say this, but MoneyMagpie.com, my website, has tons of free help and ideas about how to manage your money without tears. But Charlotte, there are lots of other ways people can get help with budgeting and managing their money, aren't there?
Yes, there are. I think one of the first places to start is, if you are looking at taking out a financial product, is to ask your provider about the FSCS protection before you commit to anything. Again, using the protection checkers that Jess mentioned, they're free, they're really easy to use, they're available online, so do check those out. Money Helper does also have calculators which can help you with budgeting and planning for things such as mortgages or taking out a new credit card, for example. We spoke about something called Couch to Financial Fitness. We sat down with Money Helper in one of our FSCS podcasts. So this is a free 9-week plan which can help you create better money habits. So I'd encourage people to look at that as well.
And Jess, what New Year's resolutions should people make about their money? Ones that they can actually keep, because as we know, New Year's resolutions are horrendously difficult to keep.
Yeah, they are. And I think we all start out with the best intentions, but it doesn't always work out that way. Well, we can't actually give any advice at FSCS. That's about our remit. But I think I would probably just reiterate the point around asking your provider, your advisor, whether they are FSCS protected as you take out new financial products or switch to different products. I think that's just a really important message. And we know that a lot of people don't necessarily think to do that, but it could be the difference between, losing your money and getting it back again.
And then there is the issue of debt in January. In fact, at MoneyMagpie, we've got a whole get out of debt campaign because, you know, we know that it's a particularly tough time for people. Charlotte, what would you say to people who are facing really worrying debt? Perhaps they've got bailiffs at the door.
Yeah, I think it's important that we look at debt in different ways. So actually, most of us do have some form of debt that we've voluntarily chosen. So we might have a student loan, for example. A lot of people have a mortgage or a credit card. Even an overdraft can be seen as a form of debt. I think where it gets complicated is when there are unexpected costs or very high interest, and sometimes it can feel like it's getting out of control. Step Change is a charity that people should know about. They can help support people, give them resources and support if they are struggling. Also in November every year, it's Talk Money Week. And this really is around encouraging the conversation around money, as we talked about earlier in this podcast. But we did also do a podcast back in November around having the conversation and reaching out, just knowing that you're not alone in the situation. And finally, in one of our previous FSCS own podcasts, we sat down with Which, and we talked about some of the options that are available to customers if they're struggling to pay off debts. There are little things that you can do to make sure that you are getting the support you need, especially from lenders, and they are there to help you out. And if you do use a debt management plan that goes bust, FSCS can step in to support and pay compensation, but only if it is FCA authorised. So it's important to check this online that you are covered.
Now, I'm going to get you both to give me your big tip that people can have so that they can make 2024 a time when they get a bit more on top of their finances. Jess, I'll start with you. What's your big tip?
I think probably my main takeaway from what we've talked about today, or, you know, what I'd like to sort of reiterate one last time at the risk of sounding like a bit of a broken record, is that it's completely free to come to FSCS if you come to us direct. And I think just to sort of follow on from that, I would also say that our customer support team are always here to help. So, you know, as I said, it can be a really stressful and upsetting and overwhelming time if you've potentially lost money, especially if it's a large amount. So I'd just say that our customer support team are super friendly and supportive. They're here to help. So if you've got any concerns, any questions about anything to do with your claim or your situation, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us.
Great. And Charlotte, what about you? What's your takeaway?
I think my key takeaway from what we've talked about today is checking out those free online resources that are available, and in particular, checking that your money is protected by FSCS by using our online protection checkers, or if you're not sure, asking your provider or advisor to ensure that they are FSCS protected.
Well, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you both of you, Jess and Charlotte, from the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. And if you'd like to find out more about how the scheme could help you, as we've said before, go to fscs.org.uk and just click on what we cover. And thank you for joining us on the MoneyMagpie Money Matters podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and generally gush about us. You know you want to.